it's like these, like sitting at 99.99999%. It's like the safety net has gone.
Yeah.
And there's just this teeny tiny little piece. It's the tiniest little piece. It's so small, and you could almost say it's insignificant, and yet it is the most significant piece to this whole puzzle, because as soon as that one piece is placed, it all makes sense. And I keep seeing this, I keep looking at this, and then I look at this reality, and then whenever I really sit and look at this reality, it's like I see another reality that is so different. It's a reality where everything is easy, and everything is around me, and everything is aligned, and everything is created, and everything is basically everything is, and it's really, it's kind of a bit strange, because I feel like every now and then I'm in this reality, physically in this reality, but I have these glimpses of this other reality that I'm living in right now as well. And I kind of feel like I'm starting to jump into that other reality. It's like my energy drops into that other reality and then comes back, and it's like, oh shit, what the fuck was that? Where the hell did I just go? And that's kind of what happened. Was I was sitting and looking at all these four walls, and then as soon as I looked and I saw, I jumped into this other reality, and it's like, oh wow, okay. And I can see the expansiveness, and I can see the difference between that reality and this one. And that tiny insignificant little piece is so significant. It is so significant that it's the difference between living in this reality and living in that one.
Completely. Living in that reality completely, because completely is 100%. But if you're missing that 0.0000001, you're not completely,
You're not completely there. And that teeny little piece is probably the most significant piece that there is. And I guess the question is, how, where, when, why is that piece going to fall into place? Because, this is the interesting thing for me, is I have had, this is my battle. This is my battle. It's so interesting. This is actually my battle. I'm finding it really interesting. It's my money battle. I have had such a strong energetic alignment with receiving through winning money.
Mm-hmm.
I see it all the time, and I push against it so much, and I push against it with 3D beliefs, society, human beliefs. And even in my videos, this month is all about receiving love and money. And I can't even say in my videos, this is how I see myself receiving money. It's the easiest, fastest, quickest, most aligned way for me to receive. It makes sense to me.
To win?
To win money in some way, shape or form. And I can't put that in my videos, because every part of my human logical form says it's not possible. It doesn't happen to someone like you, and there's no way in this world you're going to be someone that does that.
That's funny, because me too. Winning money, my whole spiritual journey started with winning money. Not me winning money, but it started with a lottery experience. But it's how that experience started that woke me up to everything. And it's exactly like you said it. It's like your human self is like, how can you win? How can you win? Like, because we're so stuck. Well, I am personally with, no, you got to do something to get money, you know? It's got to be something. There's got to be something. You can't just win it. But
you have to give up every part of your life to receive money, which is why we're programmed to have jobs. You have to give yourself up to receive money. And winning is you're not giving anything up. You're receiving without giving. Because, you know, you give, what, $5 and you receive, you know, a multitude more than $5.
Mm-hmm.
It totally opposes everything that we've been raised to believe. It's essentially giving, it's essentially receiving for giving absolutely nothing.
Pretty much.
And then my human part comes through and says, well, maybe, and I don't know if this will make sense to you depending on what pathway of understanding you've gone down, is that maybe that this belief of receiving via winning is my personal sabotage. So if I keep my energy in alignment with receiving via winning and that's not ever meant to happen, then maybe, just maybe, I'll do that often long enough that I will sabotage myself into hell, basically.
Okay. Do you see yourself winning money in a specific way?
Not yet.
What do you mean, not yet?
Well, it's not via pokies or anything like that. I would assume if I was to guess, it'd be via lottos or scratchies or something like that. That's always been where my strongest energy has been aligned.
Maybe, and this goes for both of us, maybe it's not even, obviously it's not winning money. It's because you're limiting yourself to winning money, you know? And I've seen a video with Bashar that, you know, abundant.
Where he talks about shifting realities.
No, that's one of them. I'm talking about another one. Not too sure about the name. I think it's abundance.
Mm-hmm.
Money is one form of abundance. Receiving could be like an opportunity for you to make money. Not a job, but an opportunity. You have to open yourself up to this.
Oh, you know what it is? We have been learning, I have been learning to give infinitely. And simply give. So I give on one hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I said this to you the other day. When I give without the expectation of receiving, and I give, and that's it. It's giving with one hand. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving with one hand. There's no receiving on that same hand. I am simply giving in this one hand. It's learning how to receive in the other hand without having to give.
Wow. And that
Does
can
that
be
make sense? Yeah, go on.
Yeah. And that can be in infinite forms, you know?
It's simply learning, we've been learning to give in an infinite way out of this hand. And we do really easily give energy completely, I'd say unconditionally, let's use the human word of unconditionally. We give without the expectation of receiving in return. But what we haven't learned how to do yet is to receive without the expectation of giving in return.
That just makes me think of something I went through today. My mom asked me, what do I want for Christmas? And this is all about receiving. And I'm still giving back. I'm like, nothing, you know? Like me giving the nothing is giving like, oh, you don't need to buy me anything, you know? But I know I'm going to get something. So I was like, just like everything I was saying. Like I was like, then she's like, oh, maybe you need a new pair of jeans. I was like, you know, if you give me something, I'll just accept it, you know, and I will. But just me saying that, it's like I could have said, well, I want this, I want that, I want to receive this, I want to receive that, I want to, without giving anything, like any limitations to what I will receive.
Yeah.
It has to be unlimited. But that's just one example, you know. But it's like I'm just me saying nothing or not much is me giving that, like not much, not much, not much. So then it limits what I receive. But it's not like I'm gonna open myself up to receiving and then she's gonna buy me. No, that's what I'm saying. It's just one thing, but it's like life itself. It's
So opening that energy field to receiving infinitely. And receiving and receiving and receiving and receiving and receiving. And it's receiving energy, and that energy can come in any form. It can come in the form of something tangible we can touch. It can come in the form of something, a conversation. It can come in the form of money. It can come in the form of food. It can come in the form of experiences. It's opening ourselves up 100% to the experience of receiving infinitely.
This just reminds me. I left you a post, and I said it yesterday. The more I give, the more I receive. The more I receive, the more I give. They go hand in hand. And what do you think about that? How do you feel about that?
Well, they do go hand in hand, but here's the thing. If you're, and I'm going to use percentages, it's the easiest way to do this. If you're giving at 100% and you're receiving at 50%, and you put the two together, they're out of balance. So we have to figure out how to give 100% on its own, in its own energy, in its own area, in its own essence. Give 100% or give in infinite ways, in its own vibrational space, and then receive in infinite ways.
Who are you to say that you're receiving 50%?
I'm just using a percentage as an example.
Yeah, but regardless of the percentage, you feel that as if you're receiving less than you're giving. And you're limiting yourself.
That.
So then you say that, you affirm it, and then you experience it.
Yes. Because there's a belief in there somewhere that says, if I was to guess, I would say that there's a belief in there somewhere that says, I can't receive as much as I give. I have to sacrifice. I have to sacrifice a part of myself to receive. And if you're sacrificing a part of yourself to receive, then you're never going to be able to give and receive in equal balances. Because if you're giving and receiving in equal balances, then there's no sacrifice.
This is interesting. I know what you're saying. It's like I don't know what to say. What?
You don't have to say anything.
Because like I was saying earlier, yeah, you're always receiving. You're always receiving. Always receiving. And for you to say that I'm not receiving, you're just creating that. You're creating the percentage to be lower and lower and lower. So you're lowering.
It's not that I'm not receiving. I can feel the energy of it. It's that every time I receive, I sacrifice a piece of myself in return for that receiving. I can feel it. Whenever anyone sends me a compliment, it's like I feel like I have to give back. I've received, so I feel like I have to give back. When I give, I don't feel like I have to receive. I'm simply giving. But when I receive, I feel like I have to give back. I can't receive unconditionally. I can't receive without feeling like I have to give something in return. And this is what I'm saying, is this is where we need to learn to how to receive without the energy of having to give in return. You don't have to give in return. You can receive and receive and receive and receive and receive and receive. And this is what we need to learn. This is what I'm getting. I need to learn how to do is receive. I need to learn how to receive, not how to receive and then give.
Yeah, our experience of it is completely different. Obviously, because we're two different people, you know. Because the way I give is different than the way you give. So, because me the other day I was really resonating with. Because I do receive, you know.
When you receive, do you always feel, or when you receive, do you always give in return for that receiving?
Not all the time, that's why. Sometimes I'm like, cool, thanks. I give a thanks, but you gotta be thankful, you know.
Why?
Right?
No, why? Why do you have to be thankful for that receiving? Because if you're thankful, if you receive and you say thank you, then you're still giving based on the receiving. And while I understand, yes, you know, you're staying in a place of appreciation, it's what if we received without giving anything in return? And that includes appreciation. And then on the other hand, we give appreciation without expecting anything in return.
Well, that opens up some doors.
Because here's the thing, we've been doing it the same way for such a long time and it's not working. It's not working for so many people. What if we're meant to give without the expectation of receiving in return, and we're meant to receive without the expectation of having to give in return, and giving and receiving sit in their own infinite energy? It sits in its own experience.
I'm just meditating on it right now. I can feel the channels being opened up. It's like it's not like you don't want to be thankful, you don't want to appreciate it, but it just comes in. There you go, receive, boom, you received it. Boom.
It's a habit.
It's like you didn't even have to think about seeing yourself saying thank you. Like, oh, he's about to give me something and I'm about to say thank you because I have to. It's just like, it's like, let's say you're about to send me a song, okay? And then, you know, we're talking, okay, you're sending me the song, and then I get it, and then I'm like, thanks. But it's like, without even knowing that you're gonna send a song, and then you check your inbox and the song's there. And you're like, jackpot! Just the receiving, jackpot, I received it. And then you say thanks. You know? It's because you're not giving the thanks, you're just like, wow, cool. Like, you just feel appreciation. It's not like it's forced, it's given appreciation. It just, you know what I mean? Because
how many times do you receive something and you don't actually really want to say thanks? You're not thankful for it, but you still say thanks.
It's okay. I understand.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. It's just your reaction. Just your reaction when you receive it. Instead of having your reaction to be thank you, like immediately give, your reaction to receiving is receiving it. Like, oh, in my inbox, boom, there it is. Oh, instead of, oh, I got it. Oh, thanks. Boom, you just gave it away. You know?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I've got it. I just heard what you're saying. Yeah, when you receive, you sit in the energy of receiving, and you sit in the energy of receiving. You be in that energy of receiving.
Rather than having the reaction
Yeah, rather than receiving and then instantly sending it out, you sit and you resonate and you bask in the energy of receiving. This is what I'm talking about. Exactly.
Wow. It's like you just cleared out what was clogged up, and it's just like, I'm ready, bring it on. Well, obviously it's going to be a process to, moment by moment, day by day, but the more it's accelerated, the sooner it's going to be. And it's like, wow, it just clicked. I'm like, wow.
Sit in the energy of receiving.
So it's like now I can anticipate receiving.
Because receiving is a very different energy to giving.
Hardcore. Hardcore.
It's a different energy, and we have to learn how to sit and be in that.
And I see how this connects to how I was trying to talk about, like, the more you give, the more you receive, the more you receive, the more you give. But it's like they're both hand in hand, but at the same time they're two separate things. And once you can get once we can get our receiving completely 100%, it's like that. The more you give, the more you receive, the more you receive, the more you give, gets more powerful. Because then you're going to be receiving, and then you're going to be yes. So it's going to be like exponential evolution.
Because when you're sitting in that energy of receiving, you're sitting in the energy of receiving. And whenever you're sitting in the energy of something, that's what you receive. We do it all the time with thoughts and feelings, all that sort of stuff. But what we haven't been doing is sitting in the energy of receiving. And we keep going, oh, well, okay, I've received, so now give appreciation, give appreciation, give appreciation. But here's the thing. When you give appreciation for receiving, you're sitting in the energy of giving. Yeah. And so you are constantly in alignment with giving, and you are constantly giving, because that's the energy we're spending so much time sitting in. We're not in receiving.
You got me so excited.
Fuck me, I've just found a piece of the fucking missing puzzle.
Me too, for this part of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking, and I'm not resisting it at all. I mean, I'm just allowing it. I'm like
accepting it completely.
Receiving. That's all I'm thinking right now. I'm not thinking about any form, like what am I going to receive? When am I going to receive it? Just like receiving.
It's receiving. It's the energy of receiving.
Oh my God. Wow, cool. That's really, really cool.
I think that's really cool.
And I just want to kind of compare it to, because earlier when we were Facebook chatting, I was like, you're always receiving in form of energy, like talking and stuff like that. But it's more like 3D receiving, It's like, yes, it can come in form of material, but it can also come in the form of obviously anything, but like receiving someone.
Can you see how you don't really, or for me, I wasn't seeing how I was receiving, because every time I received, I would instantly give. So there was no energy in me. There was no receiving energy in me. It's like there was this space where receiving is normally, because every time I get that energy, I just send it straight back out again. So to me, when I have a look at the energy flow, it doesn't feel like I'm receiving, because I'm not holding on to the experience. I'm not basking in the experience. It's going straight back out again.
Yeah. You know what I'm feeling right now? Energetically within me, I'm feeling my giving, the giving part of myself. Is like, it's outwards. Give. And this channel has been open for a while for both of us, and it's like, it's wide open. It's just like any chance for me to give. If it's a word, it's like, you're beautiful, or you just like, have this, have that. But then having this conversation, I can feel something coming towards me. The receiving, it's just like, it's just the word receiving and the word giving. And it's like that channel of receiving is just like, it used to be clogged up, like and I didn't even know it was clogged up. And it's like boom. It's like we just boom, and then it's like, you know, it's like wow. And with, you know, these two parts, I can just feel the flow. You know, it's just like the flow. It's like I'm you know, wow.